Alright y'all, in this video I'm gonna be doing some weeding because let me show you. There's a lot of things that need to be weeded. I don't even know if that's considered a weed anymore. I've just let it grow. I consider that one of my plants. But anyway, let's get into the video. I've told y'all I've gotta be doing some weeding because I told y'all I'm gonna be weeding because it's about springtime and I don't feel like weeding during the hot weather. So I'm just gonna be doing it now while it's hot but cooler than it will be. So yeah, look at that worm. He can stay, but he didn't want to stay. So, well, I pulled him out. But yeah, so I will get back to y'all in just a second when I've done a few of these and tips I have for anybody to prevent weeds. I know I'm pulling all these weeds and giving you tips to prevent weeds. So the first tip I will probably give you is to mulch. You see where I have mulch and it's barely any weeds, like I draw, like pull it back, there's barely any weeds. So mulch basically just like it suffocates the thing and don't allow light to get to the soil, which helps some seeds germinate, but not all seeds have to have light to germinate. So it not smothers, but like don't allow them to sprout, basically. And another thing mulch does is it helps to protect your soil from drying out. So not only is it good for preventing weeds, it's saving you water. Another thing I should say is this weed fabric, I mean, it's kind of a mulch, but at the same time it's not a natural mulch, if that makes sense. So I don't consider it a mulch, but weed fabric is good for not having weeds. Oh my god, these things have spread. Like, that looks like a little bonsai tree. But anyway. Yep, weed fabric. Where you see, right, let's look under here. Well, you can't really look under there. But if you look, there's no weeds, but right here in the circle where there's light. So yeah. Alright, so another tip I have to say is if you see a weed, pull the weed. Don't say you'll get to it later, because I said I was going to get back to this later. And look at how this is looking. And this is a perennial weed, so I'll take my weed digger upper 127. That was a thick root. I don't know. That's crazy. But you want to get the whole root when you're weeding too, because there's no point of just cutting it off. That's like just pruning it, basically. That's like cutting your grass. Your grass is still going to grow. But yeah, so if you see the weeds, pull the weeds. Don't just say I'll get it later, because that later will turn into chaos and might actually end up to your garden failing, or you having failure in your garden because you don't feel like weeding, or it'll get so many weeds where you won't want to weed, and it's gonna be a hard job to weed instead of being easy when you see a little plant like this right here and you just pull it. Alright, so another tip for weed, or to help prevent weeds, is I need to bind this so it don't keep ripping, but another tip is to keep which is something, actually this tip is something I actually don't have in my garden. I never have, so I don't know how to say from experience, but I do know it will help. So, like, basically, if you have a ground cover plant, something that takes over, like kind of like a mulch, and it like crawls on the ground and blocks like sun from getting to the ground, that is good and will stop the weeds from growing. Now, I've never had it, like I said, so I don't know how good it works, but I know people that have it, and they think or say it works good. So yeah, now I will come back and clean up all of this mess in not in another video. I'll just come back and clean it up. Like, I have this system where I will put it on here, then I come like with a broom, like a broom like I bought just for my garden, and I will have a dustpan just for my garden too. That's like a deeper dustpan, and I'll sweep into the dustpan. I'll let them dry out, and then I throw them in my compost. I make sure they don't have weed seeds in them though. I make sure the weeds I pull don't have seeds in them. I didn't pull that one if I was going. That's crazy to me what these weeds do. Anyway, so yeah. Another thing I don't know too much about, cause I do it, but I really don't think about it as helping weeds not grow, is to deeply water, like really water your plant. Like, don't drown it, but water, but make sure you don't want too much. Now, it helps promote don't just help with weeds, it helps promote the deeper root development, because the roots will have to grow down, because the water naturally goes down, so the roots will go deeper. And another thing it'll help promote is less weeds, because then the top of the soil will be not as moist as the bottom. It won't have as much water. I'm gonna have to come back with my little digger thing and get some of these roots up. But anyway, yeah. So I know this was a quick video, but I just wanted to show y'all how I'm pulling my weeds and give y'all little tips. Not how I'm pulling weeds, I mean, I'm just pulling the weeds up. But anyway, I just wanted to give y'all some tips on what I'm doing in my garden right now. And trust me, in the spring, it was gonna be booming. And let me show y'all this over here. I finally got soil for potting up my tomatoes. I don't use potting soil. I just use any kind of soil that is not just peat moss for potting up, because I feel like it's all going into the ground eventually. So yeah, now I'll give them fertilizer if they need it. I mean, if they don't, I just won't give it to them. But yeah, finally got soil, so there will be a tomato up potting video coming up soon. And if you hadn't checked out my last video, my fruit trees are starting to burst out of dormancy, and everything is starting to just sprout and just looks like spring right here. And it also feels like, but no, listen, this is the crazy part. It feels like summer, but it looks like spring.